And welcome back to Dragon Ball Z What If Nappa turned good? Part 4. Last time on the Naruto the Dragon Ball Z What If, Nappa had given his life for the sake of his new comrades, shocking everyone, including Vegeta. Now, as I said, he combined his Ozaru with his Super Saiyan form to create the Golden Ozaru. Unfortunately, this was not a form he could barely direct the form, but he basically did it to contain the explosion from Cell's massive explosion. And he did that. But Cell was unable to recover from this just because the explosion was contained by his own energy. This took down Nappa, who died, but was brought back with the Dragon Balls. And so we are in the 7-year time skip. Now, something that should be noted here that I never brought up is how old Nappa is. I had to find what his age was originally when we first met him. Apparently, despite looking like he's in his 30s, he's actually about 50 years old when we first meet him. So he's the oldest Saiyan we actually meet at the time up until Paragus. Now we know, and so at this point in time, when you factor in the 1 year between the Namek arc that would happen, plus the 3 years of the androids and the 7 year, he'd be about 61. Now, luckily, Saiyans maintain their youth much longer than humans do, so they can fight for longer. I believe Saiyans can fight well into their 80s and still basically be more or less youthful, but once they hit a certain point, they start to rapidly age. It's never stated actually how long a Saiyan's lifespan actually is. We can make an assumption that a natural Saiyan's lifespan is probably longer than a human's by a little bit, but they stay in shape longer. They maintain their physicality much longer than we do. But again, it's never fully stated how long that is. But even an older Saiyan can still fight and put up a good fight. We know this because of Paragus. When you look at Paragus in the Broly movie, we don't actually have an age for Paragus. Let me find that out real quick. Paragus's age in Super Paragus. Dragon Ball Paragus, Dragon Ball DBZ. Age. Let's see. How old is Paragus? Although his exact age is unknown, it's likely he's older than 80 years old, since it's stated by Vegeta the Saiyans remain in power until they reach about 80 years old. Okay, right about 80. Paragus is the first Saiyan seen to have passed the peak fighting age of his race and thusly has gray hair. But even still, he had a power level of over 4,000, and by human standards is still in very good shape. So yeah, it's not like Saiyans lose or completely unable to continue fighting after they hit that point. Is that they're past their peak at that point, and they do start to age quicker. I say this because Nappa will hit that point of his lifespan much sooner than Vegeta and Goku will, particularly because Vegeta and Goku have had the advantage of being dead for several years on several occasions, particularly Goku, who has a much fitter body in his prime than someone like Vegeta does. Vegeta apparently is like 69 years old. Figure that out. If I'm not mistaken, Vegeta's age is like 69. Vegeta age. Vegetables. There we go. Vegeta age. No, wait a minute. Vegeta's special birth making him 40 years old by the end of Dragon Ball Super at age 70. However, this doesn't take into account the hyperbolic time training. That's right. He spent a collective 5 years inside. So Vegeta is actually only chronologically about, I don't know where someone got the age of 69 with him. He's only chronologically about in his early 50s. Goku is a bit younger than him by about 5 years. So God put Goku only about in his 40s overall, if you're not factoring in the hyperbolic time chamber stuff. Regardless, where I'm trying to get at is, I think Nappa, after a while, is going to try to move away from fighting, is where I'm trying to get at. Not to say he won't still try to fight. He definitely will. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at something I have on the ground here. He definitely will still try to keep up the fight and keep his Saiyan heritage going and all that. But because he's an older Saiyan, because he also has, a wife, and he has a child with a corset, I think he will eventually start to slow down, just try to take in his, his older years. But for now, he's still good. In the 7 years between the end of Cell, which, by the way, Hercule would still be declared the savior of the planet, because the cameras would be foobarred at that point. He'd still be able to sell it off as he saved the world. But I think words here. He's still
very much Satan. But the others, what's going on with them? Well, like, the real focus here would be, think words here, Nappa, Vegeta, Goku, the Saiyans of this world. And what's happening here? Well, I think all of the Saiyans, Goku, Vegeta, Goten, Trunks, Bra, who we established would be born here because he's trying to compete with Nappa, and Cosette would all have their Super Saiyan forms. Who the strongest is among them, because you do have Goku there to help train Goten and keep Gohan in shape, as well as Nappa probably lending a hand sometimes. That's tough. I would probably lean towards Goten just because Goku's there to keep Goten trained, because Goten was only barely weaker than Trunks. If Goku was there to kind of keep him, keep his power up, then yeah, I think he would have been the stronger one of the group. But beyond that, Gohan has maintained his strength. I don't think Gohan's much stronger here, but he has maintained his strength, at least in this version. The big question is Goku and Nappa. I think and Vegeta. Vegeta particularly is interesting because I have a feeling he would look at both Goku and Nappa and just resent them, but have something to... He wouldn't quite have that evil that was Dark distilled in him, because he does have them there to train. He also demands that the wish to have his tail brought back, just as Nappa and Goku did. And, they're like, they comply, sure. Excuse me. But beyond that, in the 7 years, what happens with the training? Well, Super Saiyan 2, I think, is ultimately hit. Just as Gohan hit it, they all hit it as well. But beyond that, I think what they do all try to aim for is that Golden Uzara form that Nappa ultimately hit upon. Now, it is difficult for them because it's still a form that is way beyond anything like they've managed. Beyond that, they also are just not used to that power and the level of lack of control it forces them into. The only one who would actually have probably his type would be Vegeta, who we know for a fact could control himself in the Uzara form. So during their practices, they're all just like, rah, whatever. But once they finally get it down and learn to control the power, they are able to finally compress that power. And wouldn't you know, they are able to obtain the Super Saiyan 4 form, or Super Saiyan Primal, as they will call it, because there's no Super Saiyan 3 here. They pretty much bypassed it. Now, some people always get on my kids like, that's not how Super Saiyan 4 works. You use the Flex Wave off the planet Earth, and that's how Super Saiyan 4 came out. I get that. I get it. And if you're new to the channel and you're not aware of why I do this or how I've explained how this works, well, let me break it down real quick. We don't know because Super Saiyan 4 is not canon, we don't know if there are other ways to obtain Super Saiyan 4. So by using just breaking it down and trying to figure things out, we can make an idea of how you in theory in canon could get Super Saiyan 4. And so, this is the idea I had come up with. Obtaining, because theoretically you should still be able to have an Uzara Super Saiyan. That should still work. And we know that's a stepping stone to Super Saiyan 4. So theoretically, controlling that form should be able to grant you the Super Saiyan 4 power, given enough training and time. And that's exactly what happens. Goku, Nappa, and Vegeta all have Super Saiyan 4. Say, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. I get all this fur all over my body, and this still doesn't come on my head? Come on! Maybe he gets a full beard and mustache. Which, by the way, apparently in the games, Super Saiyan 3 Nappa, that's what happens. His beard grows out. That's Super Saiyan 3. Which is stupid as hell. Come on, give him, something up there. I guess he's just naturally bald. And Rad's is just, completely nuts. But, that said, they spend the rest of their, training, getting stronger. Goku, because he does have Kaioken under his belt, is able to add Kaioken onto Super Saiyan 4, and therefore he is still the strongest among them, which pisses off Vegeta, but just gives him more purpose to train and get stronger. Enter the Buu Saga, where I think they do still have Gohan enter the tournament. They don't allow Goku or anyone else to enter the tournament, because frankly they know there's kind of no point to it. Maybe every once in a while they do enter the tournaments for the extra cash. Goku was entered maybe once again. And, this is former champion Goku. He is the martial arts champion. Why that's right. They stopped doing it after they blew up the ring, if I'm not mistaken. But then, why was Goku never called back to the martial arts tournament? I mean, think about that, really. He was the champion. So by all accounts, he should have been called back at some point because Jackie Chun came back. Unless it wasn't a mandatory thing back then. We know in Mr. Satan that it's kind of for his own image, but also, yeah, it is one of those things where I think you got to beat the champ and be the new champ. With Roshi, he returned definitely. But, yeah, And by the way, they clearly changed the rules because the champion still had to fight through all the rounds prior back in the day, whereas with the new version that you get in like the Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga era, it's more that the champion is the final boss at the end. And sorry, I just dropped some stuff on the ground there and I bumped my head. I'm good. So anyway, so with that said, yeah, they still have them enter. Krillin still enters too. 18 enters. Everyone else, and you have the children's division. They're all duking it out. They're all trying not to go Super Saiyan. Goten, ultimately, though, would probably be the winner. Again, being a little stronger and having actual training from Goku goes a long distance here. So, with that said, Kibito and Shin, they have Gohan say, Gohan, show me your power, Super Saiyan. Boom, and I can take it one step beyond that. And he goes to his full power. Yamu and Smokovich steal his strength, and they go off. Now, because he is at least as strong as he is in the Cell games, so he's stronger than the canon counterpart, Buu probably goes to about 60% here as opposed to the 50%. Again, assuming that they did not pick up any extra energy prior to stealing Gohan's. They show up. Deborah kills Kibito and turns Krillin and Piccolo to stone. The Saiyans and everyone go in. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. They've obliterated the Babidi team. And that includes Deborah here, because I have a feeling Gohan doesn't fight in this version. Or even if he did, he's still stronger. He's still as strong as he was minimum as when he was a kid, which means Deborah, who is documented to be as strong as Perfect Cell is, would not stand a chance here. Goku, Nappa, Piccolo, Vegeta, they can all go just tear through them like paper, like tissue paper. Which means they're going to pretty much prevent Babidi from ever awakening Buu. And so they get down there, Babidi is defeated, be it killed or incapacitated, have something slapped on. It's like, it's the magic words. And ultimately, Buu is stopped. Buu is contained. Everything is all well and good, and the day is shaved. And so the next 4 years pass. Nappa would be in his now mid-60s, still fine. He's actually enjoying a relatively peaceful life. It's at this point we should note that I think Nappa, despite initially being very, battle hungry, finding, love with Bulma's sister Tights and, having a kid, maybe even having another kid at this point, because when you got a hot wife, you spend time together. But they're easily, I think Nappa's very content. He has a little farm out in the distance, or near Son Goku, that's where his place is. Or maybe that's down their family getaway. He lives with Tights and all that, or Tights lives with him. They have their own. She has her own little technology depot or whatever. They enjoy living out in the country. I think when Nappa's not fighting, he's actually enjoying the peaceful life. I actually could see Nappa again as he's getting older and just taking in his mortality, and he's not going to be here forever, enjoying the life with his family. Meanwhile, now the big thing here is that Beerus is going to wake up. Should note that the relationship right now between Vegeta, Goku, and Nappa, Goku and Nappa are cool. And honestly, Vegeta and Goku are fine. Vegeta, however, definitely still not. It just needs to prove something to Nappa. So one day during that time frame, he goes, it's like, Nappa! It's like, huh? Vegeta, what do you want? What do you want? What do you think? You fight me. What? I mean, sure, you want to spar? No, I don't want to spar, Nappa. I want a true fight. You and me, all out. It's like, what's this about, Vegeta? I mean, seriously, we don't need to fight or anything. We don't really need to fight. It's like, we do. And then all of a sudden he powers up, just Super Saiyan. And you can tell Vegeta's betrayed. Like, what's this about, Vegeta? Let's not do this near my family, okay? Come on, They go to the mat and say, why are we fighting, Vegeta? I mean, we spar all the time. It's like, shut up! You think it's so easy. You think you can just join the other side, betray your kind, and then you have the balls to... He doesn't have the words say, surpass me for a time. He was stronger than Vegeta for a while. That just has been eating at him. Vegeta, Goku, he still doesn't, he respects Goku because he can, when he met Goku, he was already that strong and already was able to push him. But Nappa never was stronger than him until he basically turncoat into Vegeta's mind. It's like, is this what this is about, Vegeta? Me finding a better home than just being under Frieza's boot under yours? It's like, you will shut up! You really want to prove to me this was a better option? Then don't hold back! And he just goes immediately to Super Saiyan 4. Goku can now sense what they're doing. I mean, you already sensed it, but he can sense, oh, okay, what the hell they're doing? He flies off to find out what's going on. So does everyone else who's around anyway. Nappa's just finally goes to Super Saiyan 4 as well. And they duke it out. Now, in terms of who actually was the better fighter, like straight out, it probably still is Vegeta. We don't see a lot of Nappa's fighting style, but he's a finessed brawler, I guess is the best way to put it. He's definitely got some form, and he knows how to throw a punch and block and all that, but there's no real martial arts as far as we can tell behind it. Like, he's not really taking a true fighting stance like Vegeta does, the whole that stance. Or Goku's infamous just like, that. Like, that stance shows an actual form training to it. But Nappa never really displayed that, so I don't think Nappa really was as much of a martial artist in the same sense. But that being said, this Nappa has been training with Goku for a long time, so it's very possible he has definitely refined his abilities to a certain degree. That said, Vegeta's still the better fighter, I think, which is not good for Nappa, who is struggling with Vegeta, like he is. And like I said, Nappa is an older Saiyan. By all accounts, he is still in his prime, and he will still be in his prime for a good decade more. But that doesn't mean every once in a while you still, some things catch up with you. Like, he could have some old injuries that still, catch up to him. But he's doing his best. He is probably if we're taking Ki out of the equation, though, his size means he is the physically stronger of the two of them. So when he does land a good shot, Vegeta feels it, and it hurts more. It probably doesn't hurt more. They're probably equal in terms of how much pain they're dishing out. Just and finally Goku and Gohan, maybe Krillin, shows like, what's going on here, guys? You stay out of this, Kakarot. It's between me and the oaf. Oh, it's oaf now, is it? The big talk, shorty. It's like, oh, you so when did you get so much balls? When yours finally the moment yours finally dropped, kid. And finally, Vegeta's like, got it. And Vegeta's like, I'm going to wait, Vegeta. And Nappa's like, wait, he's really serious. Holy crap. It's like, Vegeta, don't do it. Got it. Gun. Fire. Now Nappa's just crap. He just does everything he can, the biggest blast he can. I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna fire the ball. I don't. Besides that, I think Eraser Cannon was the name of it, or was that Raccoon's attack? I can't remember. Point being, he does whatever he can. The biggest energy blast he can. They clash. Goku ultimately does have to, get involved, so the boss goes out into space instead of blowing up the planet. And they're just. I was like, what's this about? Damn it, stay out of this. I told you to stay out of this, Kakarot. And finally, Nappa just comes in, just. That's enough, Vegeta. Look, I won't pretend to understand exactly what's going on with you, but it doesn't matter anymore. What happened with Vegeta, Planet Vegeta? He's just holding what happened with Planet Vegeta and Frieza doesn't matter anymore. We have a new life here. You have a new life here. And no matter what, you're still the Prince of all Saiyans. That doesn't change no matter how strong someone is. So stop acting like a child. And, Vegeta just... He just finally lets it all out, and he goes, whatever. And it just flies off. He's like, let him go, Kakarot. And so, now, who would have ultimately won that fight? Well, I actually think Vegeta would have won the fight. And Nappa basically kind of implies a little bit of that with it, saying like, doesn't matter who's strong, doesn't matter about strength anymore. You're still the prince of all Saiyan. Like, he's trying to play like, look, you are stronger than me at this point, and I'm not trying to compete with you. You're the one trying to compete with me and Kakarot. So just chill out. And so some time passes. Vegeta finally cools down. He apologizes in the Vegeta way, where Nappa. He goes to Nappa. It's like, so how's your family? It's like, family's doing good. How's yours? Fine. I'm not apologizing. Wasn't expecting you to, but your Highness. It's like, for what it's worth, Vegeta, you would have won that fight long if we had kept going. And Vegeta, of course I know that, fool. I'm not saying that to boost your ego, Vegeta. I'm saying you would. I'm saying if that fight gone out long enough after that energy blast, you probably would have won. You're the stronger of the two of us. And Vegeta's now realizing he's acknowledging that. It's like, yeah, no, you're stronger than me. It's fine. You were always stronger than me. I got stronger than you for a little bit, and then you took it back. That's just the way it is. You're younger than me. You got more time to get stronger than I do. And you know what? That was the whole point of me looking after you as a kid. So at least I did my job right. And he probably says something like that too. And Vegeta actually is like a little taken back by that. Like, he's acknowledging all of that. It's like, where's your damn pride, Nappa? You're not going to at least try to contest it at all that I'm stronger than you? Why would I? It's the truth. I know it's the truth, damn it. So then finally, Vegeta can actually tell Nappa's kind of messing with him, and it's just they actually have a laugh together for the first, because they probably did have some. I mean, they were terrible people for the longest time, but they probably actually had laughs together. I wouldn't say they were like work friends, but that was about it, because Vegeta completely wasted his ass, and so they have a laugh. A laugh they haven't shared in a while. It's good to have a laugh with you again, Vegeta. I suppose it's not the worst thing to have one with you either. And so they're homies again. It's all good. We end this part with Beerus waking up. Now, Beerus in this version would just go straight to, well, actually, he would still go to King Kai, but who then tells him about the Saiyans and all that, and then he knows there's Saiyans on Earth, so he goes straight to Earth. Now, there's a big difference here. I'm pretty sure Nappa probably knew of Beerus as well. We know Vegeta knew for a fact that Beerus. I have a feeling Nappa probably knew of Beerus too. At least knew of. So when Beerus shows up, it isn't just Vegeta who's flipping his shit and shitting bricks. It's Nappa's like, man, Prince Vegeta. It's so good to see you again. Yeah. And they're eating food and all that. And Goku's just like, whoa! So you're the god of destruction? Like, Goku, don't you even think about it? But King Kai, I just want to test it out. Well, can we have a spar? Like, in all my years, I've never had such a challenge. Why not? It's like, they're just all shy. Goku and him have their fight. It goes about the same, except the Super Saiyan 4 form is a form that is strong enough, I think, because with Super Saiyan 3, Beerus at least feigned putting effort in. Like, he was still going with just a finger, but he was still actually willing to like he clearly did it either to mock Goku or at least express that I have to use at least a finger, because that'd probably be mildly uncomfortable. Super Saiyan 4 is far greater than Super Saiyan 3, so he actually probably does actually a hinge, and Goku even maybe gets a couple fair shots in that surprise Beerus. Don't hurt him that much, but like, well, that was impressive. The fact you landed a couple of hits in, that hasn't happened in ages. But you're clearly not the Super Saiyan God. What about you two? Keep in mind, Goku probably has been practicing with the Kaioken. At this point, though, he's knocked out. So even if he added Kaioken onto the Super Saiyan 4, it would be impressive, but wouldn't be able to do much to Beerus. The difference here, though, is that Beerus doesn't try to destroy the Earth, actually. He gets his pudding, all's well. Eventually, he does get a little fed up and asks to see the Super Saiyan, asks about the Super Saiyan God, and they explain to Bulma who this guy is and what he will do. And he's like, fine, we'll use the Dragon Balls. And Shenron comes up, they explain the Super Saiyan God ceremony. Goku gets to be the first Super Saiyan God. And they have their fight. The form is probably about as strong as it is here. Well, no, it's probably a little stronger because you do have stronger Saiyans. I don't know if that affects it, really. I would imagine it might, but I don't have a firm answer on that. Point is, they have their fight, they have their clash, and they have all well as anyone. Beerus doesn't even threaten to destroy the Earth. He got his fight in. It was a good fight for what it was worth. Though he is interested to see Goku's progression later down the road. All that being said, that's where we're going to leave part 4 today. Basically, we got enough for one more part, I think, and then we'll start another one after the fact. It'll be the what if Goku was raised? I think it was raised by Frieza. I think that was the one. I'll have to double check my community post, but yeah, that's what the next one will be. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next.